Alright, hello everybody. I am actually making this video just as I am playing the game. I'm not using any sort of script or anything. I'm just gonna talk about some things on my mind, just something that I wanted to make into a video and post. But yeah, getting straight into it. Wow, this audio is pretty loud. Hearing the villagers going, huh, huh. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about something, and I'm just gonna get straight into it. I know this may end up be this may end up being like I'm just rambling on or just kind of nonsensical stuff. So if that happens to be the case, then you don't have to watch the video. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about whatever's on my mind, and starting with anger. As a kid, I really was very angry, and angry at a lot of things. Angry at my family and angry at myself, just kind of angry at the world in general for many reasons. And as I got older, that anger sort of turned to resentment towards a lot of people, and uh, it definitely added to the aspect of me kind of coming to hate myself and really, really resent the people around me. Most notably, the people that I resented were my family, which I know to a lot of people with strong family connections. I don't know what's up with this house. That's kind of weird. It's actually kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, I know to a lot of people with strong family values and all, they will be kind of caught off guard or maybe think less of me as well for having said that I resented my family greatly. And I mean, of course, your values are not my values the same way my values are not yours, and there's no reason to force anybody else's values onto another. But my point in saying all of this is that I'm just kind of presenting myself like naked in a way, pretty honestly, vulnerably. And I'm assuming that, like, of course, there is the chance when I make these sort of videos that it could not be well received. And there could be people who, as I said, look down on me or think less of me. And, that is totally all right because it is worth it if there's somebody in this listening who does feel some sort of relatability or understanding, that somebody else understands the way that they feel. And I know by now I've probably, what is this video, like 5 minutes long already? Maybe 3 minutes is probably a better approximation. But so yeah, I know the main people listening already are those who just kind of care to hear what I have to say. So I thank you for that. I know this isn't going to be edited in any real way. This isn't really going to be anything sort of to catch your attention, right? I mean, the reason people love watching Reels or TikTok videos is because it's just constant stimulation. But this is pretty, like, not stimulating. It's nothing crazy going on. I'm mining coal right now. I'm just speaking at a regular tone of voice. But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, picking up where I left off about resentment, I found that it was sort of a poison to my own self. Like, that's what it came to be. Eventually, it just became something that was inhibiting my own ability to succeed in my own capabilities because I was just holding so much hate inside of me. And that's really not, holy cow, that is really not a good thing because you damage yourself. And he's gonna blow up. Never mind. Okay, but yeah, you damage yourself a lot, and I just didn't want that for myself and for the other person. For my family, I mean, because the thing that I really wanted to say is that the reason resentment is such a unhealthy thing is because you have this. I mean, you have to think about what is the cause of your resentment. Why do you dislike this person or feel like you've been, dealt an unfair hand in life? And it's because you have expectations of what life should be or what somebody else should be. And those expectations are just by default sort of messed up in a way. I mean, a lot of people have expectations for us, and when we don't live up to what they imagine we should be, then they feel disappointed in us, and we feel somewhat disappointed in ourselves, you know? Like, I mean, yo, first try, let's go. All right. Yo, I gotta name this guy or gal. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, when somebody else has some expectation for you and you don't live up to it. Oh my gosh, first try again. Hey, yo. Wow. You know, I'm gonna keep my luck. I'll just let this guy be wild. He looks pretty happy to run through the fields. But yeah, what I'm saying is that there's no reason to have expectations for people, right? Because when you have expectations of how somebody should treat you or the way that the world should work, yes, it can be a helpful thing, right? It could be good to say in a relationship, maybe an unhealthy relationship, that, hey, I don't like how you're treating me. You know, this is not the way that you should be treating me because, you know, I expect somebody who loves me and I love them to see me on equal grounds, you know, and respect me as a person. And in that scenario, that it's totally healthy and everything. And you're not wrong for wanting something else or wanting somebody else. Holy cow, there's a whole pack here. But yeah, you're not wrong. Wow, first try again. No, no, this one. You know, it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you just hit or miss. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that the reason I felt so much resentment is because I thought that the people that I resented weren't living up to some like sort of standard or what some sort of idea that I pictured they should be or the type of people they should be, you know, the type of parents they should be when in reality they're just a person exactly the same as I am who just kind of they are the way they are due to their experiences, their circumstances, their predispositions, you know, it's the exact same way as the whole like you can't judge others before you have like you take out the wood in your own eye. What's that one Bible verse that I'm talking about? Where the whole like the splint or something in your eye, and it's like you can't judge somebody else before. Anyways, if you look it up, you will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that I am a person who fails to meet expectations myself, you know, and but then again, it is incorrect of somebody else to place those sort of expectations on me or assume I should be some certain way. You know, like let's say somebody thinks, hey, you're going to be a good person if you become a doctor, right? And that is my expectation I have of you. Then maybe I don't want to be a doctor. Maybe that's not what's going to be satisfying for me or the way that I want to live. That's not who I'm, if you believe in destiny or God, that's not who God made me to be, or that's not what fate wants me to become, you know? And which by the way, I always say those things, but I myself I never speak in a way that's like unless I say me personally, then you know I'm speaking for myself and these are my beliefs I'm stating. But when I say stuff like that, like some people might believe this, then I'm speaking more generally. And yeah, but what I mean to say is that it would be wrong for me to place an expectation on someone else the same way it would be incorrect of somebody else to set some unrealistic expectation of me. And you know, I hope that people such as, you know, our parents and such can be mature enough to say like, hey, I know I have these expectations of who my child should be, but at the end of the day, they are their own person and they will do as they so please. You know, there's not much I can do about that but accept them. And that is a whole thing in itself, but I unfortunately have to get going. I wish you guys the best and thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening. Have a great spring break and I'm really, really grateful to be able to speak with you. The anonymous Google form will always be there and somebody will always care. Thank you.